So guys, what the heck happened to me yesterday? I followed my own goddamn advices. And that's something, I don't know, it's not something that I usually do. Like all the tips I'm giving to you are some things that I used for my first NaNoWriMo, the second, the third, like some things that I created when I didn't have the confidence that I was gonna win, when I was still trying things, and I created all those tips. And then when I got more confident and more competent and more into it and winning after winning after winning, I kind of played with that and forgot some of the tips. And like if you saw yesterday's video, so on day 6 I only wrote like 11 words, and on day 7 I only wrote like 370 something, and I wasn't happy with that 300 something, right? So what I did was I opened Write or Die, and I'm going to show you what it did to me. So here it's what it did. So the Brody day where I wrote 11 words, and then I caught up, so which means from here to here I wrote 5,000 words using the Write or Die, and I also wrote 2,848 today. So I'm way in advance. Like today I should be at 15,000 if I was following the amount of words I ask in NaNoWriMo. But because I do 2,500 a day, it's day 9, so I should be at 22,500, and I'm like more than 1,000 above, like 1,419 words above. So yeah, when I follow my own tips, it works a lot better than when I don't. So that's another thing that I kind of proved to myself. There is a lot of things going on, like do what I said, not what I do. But basically I'm going to try and do what I say and start doing everything I tell you to do, because I know it's more efficient than when I just go with the flow. So yeah. And now for today's tips. So today's tips is a bit particular, and I don't think it applies to people who actually have a very detailed timeline before they start writing. It's more something for people who have ideas that happened during the novel but don't really know how to join them to each other. And the tip of today is tip number, I don't remember, tip number 7. And it says, never stop at the end of a paragraph, chapter, section. You know what I mean. Don't stop when the paragraph stops. And the reason for that, like stop before the end of the paragraph, or like continue the second paragraph before you finish. And the reason for that is it's way easier to start when you have momentum. So for example, if you finish something, you have, like if you finish a chapter and you have to start on a new chapter the next day, it's way more difficult to actually start on something new than to finish what you started and then continue to something new. Because when you start something new after just writing the end of the chapter, you got the momentum because you're already writing, so it gets easier. So basically what I do is, like for example, when I stopped yesterday, they arrived at the restaurant, and basically Brownie was checking what meal she wanted to eat. There is this fire stew that everybody seems so excited about, so she was checking the menu. The end. So I know that the next thing they have to do is order food, and then eat and know if it's delicious or not. So basically I could have continued with that idea of having them eat, and I could have made like maybe 500 more words about conversation during the meal and that kind of thing. But I had already my word count. I had above it like more than 300 words more than what I needed, and I decided to just stop there. I already had written a lot that day, so I decided to stop there, and when I'm going to start writing again, I know exactly where I should start. So when I'm going to be writing, I'm going to write what I know and then continue with what I don't know yet. And that way of progressing makes it easier, because it's way faster to write what you know than to write what you don't know. When you don't know something, as I said in the previous tips, you just wait and think and you just stuck more easily. But if you already know what you're supposed to write, because you think about it during your then moment, because you prepared it the day before at the end of your writing, it gets a lot easier. So basically that's today's tips, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know how it's going with your writing, and have fun whatever you do. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you find me helpful. Bye!